I hope everyone is having a great day. It's me, Miss Billman, and this is the Unit 7, Lesson 8 homework. This is all about percents. I love percents because I like to save money, so like 20% off something. I also deal with grading things a lot, so people ask me, what's my percent on this? What's my grade? So it's percent. So things to keep in mind. Percent is out of 100, and we're going to take the percent and make it a fraction and a decimal. We're going to use the denominator of 100. So 42% is like 42 out of 100. If I wrote it as a decimal, it'd be 0.42. 71% is that same pattern of 71 over 100, 0.71. I think of percents that are less than 100 as the cents of like a purchase. If something was $5.24, that 24 cents part of it, that'd be like 24 out of 100, because if you had 100 cents, that would be $1. 8 is 8 over 100, and instead of writing that 0.8, misconception right there, we're going to write it 0.08. And 88 is 88 over 100, and it would be 0.88. 108, this one's different because it is 108 over 100. And you see I actually kind of flipped these. This is my bad, but I'm still going to get the same result. The decimal is 1.08, so like $1.08. 108 over 100, or I could do 1 and 8 over 100. Either way, again, same answer. Now I'm going to take different colors and I'm going to label them on a number line. Number lines are great, especially when you're moving into positive and negative integers, since they're overlapping number lines, and you just get more experience with them. So first thing I need to do is I need to label what kind of increments I will be having on this number line. Now, I know these are by tens, but if I were to go back and do it, I would, and didn't take into account that they're by tens, and I just labeled them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'd be having some issues. So the 42% I'm going to label on here with a line, and I'm going to write 42%. You will have to forgive me that I am using the smallest pen size on here, but it seems to be pretty big. So 71, I label at 71. I'm going over to the 7 and then over 1. 80%, that one's pretty straightforward, right? It's right on the 80. That whole idea of the 88 and 88, people have misconceptions about how to write that as a decimal. Don't get confused. Go back to what does it look like when I have those cents. Percents, because they're out of 100, it's just like a decimal, and it's very similar to a fraction. Those are all friends that hang out in the same circle. They're a little bit different from each other, but they're still quite similar. So 88, now this 108, I'm going to go over the 100%, and I'm going to go 8 over it because it's 108%. I'm going to label it red, and I'm going to write 108%. For these next problems, these next 6 ones, we are looking at percent of a figure. Now, this is when we're putting like geometry and fractions together. So if I looked at this figure total, that is 100%. Not 100% of it is colored in, right? So if I cut it into 5 pieces, so 100 into 5 pieces, each piece is worth 20. So each piece, whether it's shaded or not, is worth 20. Because 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 40% of this figure is shaded. For number 3, the entire figure, that entire rectangle is 100%. Half of it, where I'm putting the dotted line, that's half of it. And so half of 100 is 50. Now I get half of half, which is 50 cut in half. Each side is 25. 50 plus 25 is equal to 75%. So 75% of that figure is shaded. Now I have a vertical rectangle. I need to make sure that I count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 100 divided by 5, that's 20. 20% for each of these. But wait, this one is a little bit different because it has a line that's cut in half. So I have to think, what's 20 cut in half? That's 10. So 20, 40, 60. Well, I can't do 80, but I can do 70 because it's half of that. This one could be really tricky. We actually talked about this in my class, room 1, whoop whoop, about how it can be deceiving, especially if the printing is not dark enough. It will just look like one massive figure, but these are two different figures on this paper. So the left side, that is 100% shaded, so I know it's going to be 100%. On the right hand side, it's split. So down the middle, it splits it into 50%. So if the top is 50%, but that's cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sections, that means each section is worth 10. So I'm labeling them 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this has 100, just like I'm shading over there, and then 20% shaded. Number 6, the entire figure is 100% of a figure, but if we count them, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so each is worth 20. And this is a little bit different because it is labeled in a diagonal. So if I start making the shapes, I can see 1/4 of this is filled in. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 85% of this is shaded. And number 7, I think I got this one. This is 100% of this figure is shaded. Remember, percent is out of 100. You got this. Have a great night.